Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the His and Hers The Truth podcast. And of course, loyal viewers and new viewers, thank you so much for joining me today. Guys, while you're here, subscribe to this channel, right? I don't know what it is, but I know the truth is getting suppressed out there. So guys, do us a huge favor and subscribe to the channel, especially if you viewed our videos, several times or have had shared the truth, debunk the lies out there. Subscribe to the channel. You shadow watchers out there still shadow watching, stop shadow watching and subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button, guys. Give us a big thumbs up. Push the truth out there. Of course, turn on your notification bell, lets you guys know when we're posting new content, of course. And of course, comment and share. Check out the most recent comments reaction video that my wife and I just did. We love all the comments that you guys provide, positive, negative, critical, obviously giving us suggestions. We love all of them. So please keep them coming. And then, of course, guys, share. Definitely share the truth out there, especially in this day and age. While the truth is getting suppressed every single day, and of course, we want to continue promoting marriage and promoting obviously couples and relationships and that type of thing. Now, the reason why I mentioned that real quick is because I'm going to be doing another reaction video today, guys. And it's one that I've been wanting to react to for a little bit now, but I haven't watched this particular clip yet. And honestly, to tell you guys the truth, I haven't watched the full video either. I think it's like something in the neighborhood of like 2.5 hours or 3 hours. So, when I get some time, I'll definitely watch it all. But it is the Hafiz, when he appeared on Adam Sosnick's Valuetainment episode with CGA, Coach Greg Adams. And the title of this video I'm going to be reacting to is At Hafiz Baku Slams Red Pill Influencers. All right, guys. So, yeah, I'm excited. Let's begin.
Your biggest problem with the red pill community is that it's all negative, it's all
Adam,
insurance, it's all what could happen bad.
And they have to be real. There's an incentive structure for it. I shared some of these people these numbers. I'm gonna share some of these numbers with you. I did a video because it's so funny because the red pill community, those kind of guys, they're so fickle. And they love you when you bash women, but the moment you share any objectivity, showing both sides, now all of a sudden they're demonizing you, right? So it's very interesting that I do videos that are critical of modern men and modern women. I try to be as balanced as possible. I know for a fact my content will be weak if it's imbalanced. So I like to do as balanced as possible. I did a video a couple months ago called the why women today are not marriageable. I did that video talking about some of the principles that I believe are true why women have issues, and we can go on that for days. That video did over 500,000 views in 2 weeks.
Big time.
I did another video called The Sad Reality of Beautiful Women, talking about how sometimes attractive women have an air of entitlement about themselves that makes them difficult in relationships. Another video, 500,000 views. The reality of the matter is, that month alone, I told the guys in the Standard, I'm just being transparent and honest. With those two videos, and then Candace Owens coming on the podcast talking about the problems of modern women, we made $55,000 that month. $55,000 just doing a few videos. And I know almost everybody in the space, and everyone shows me their money. And I was making the least of what everybody else is making. But when I do the other content, Adam, the more balanced content, there's not clicks in it. There's not views in it.
What type of content?
Like let's say if I was do a video about, hey guys, here are signs, like let's say the 5 things to pick in a wife. Those kind of guys don't want to hear that. They want to hear 5 things wrong with women today. That's what they want to hear. They want to hear more of the negative stuff.
Pause real quick.
They want it reinforced, like CNN. Like CNN.
Okay, guys. So real quick, let's break down his argument real quick, because I get what he's saying. He's saying that the men, the guys that view the red pill content, right? They are what he's claiming to be, that they're jaded and that they just want to hear content that is pointing out the modern day female's flaws. he uses the terms like what is it, re-influencing, or I guess reconfirming their viewpoints, right? So it's almost kind of like he's saying that when content is that like that is produced, that it's like you're listening to your own echo chamber. I disagree a little bit, right? Obviously, I've been doing this for a while now, and I've actually watched some of Hafiz's videos, and we actually reviewed one. You guys can check it out in our library. I think I reviewed one where my wife and I watched his video, and I can't remember his buddy. I think his buddy, the other announcer with his is Chris. But the problem with Hafiz, and when he makes content that discusses about the men's issues, when he's talking about the balanced content, and let's say he has a female or female guest on his show, he doesn't attack their viewpoints as strongly. You know, he'll be obviously more, obviously very careful to make sure that he doesn't offend them. Okay. And I think that's where I would criticize him the most. It's not that, hey, go ahead, make content that criticize obviously these red pill content consumers, right? Or guys that are like MGTOW or incels, whatever shaming language you want to use for these guys, right? And of course, they don't generate money. So I get it. You're upset that when you make balanced content like that, you don't get money. But my criticism from you, and it's a fair criticism, at least from what I've seen, is that when you actually have female guests on your show, you don't obviously debate their viewpoints enough, right? You kind of just enable them to kind of let them say what they need to say, okay? Now, going back on the red, the red pill content, right? Why do you think that you make more money when you reveal the true nature of the modern female? Think about that a little bit, Hafiz, right? Because you're actually spreading a truth that no one else is spreading out there. And I get it. Sometimes you can criticize that as being an echo chamber, but what does the reality, what does your own eyes show to you yourself? We have the lowest, obviously, marriage rates right now, but yet we still have some of the highest divorce rates. We have the lowest birth rates, right? We have anecdotal evidence that the modern female's body count is probably higher than 30, okay? And we obviously have feminism and all these different, social constructs that are, creating, for lack of better words, poor wives. And so I've said it on this channel. Many others in the RP community have said it on their channel, is that modern women are not qualified as wives. So when you make that content, in essence, you're revealing a truth that no other, let's be honest, the mainstream media isn't revealing this. The majority of content on YouTube, TikTok, whatever you want to call it, is not revealing this truth. So when you do it, when my channel does it, when other RP content creators do it, it's allowing that truth to be revealed to a bunch of people that sees the truth, that have awoken their eyes to the matrix, and is like, I want to be told the actual truth and not be told a lie. So hence why, obviously, it gets more hits. Okay? All right, let's continue.
Does not want to hear 5 things great about Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. Hell no. CNN don't want to hear that. Give me 5 things wrong with Trump. And so to me, when you're doing balanced content, even when you're doing male improvement stuff, because I think there's a difference between real male improvement, because it has to improve the lives of men. Fitness, emotional health, spiritual growth. When you're doing that don't get views. And dudes in my comments would always talk about this, at dang, the girl stuff gets 10x the views of the male improvement stuff. And also when Fresh and Fit will tell you the same thing. When they do their finance stuff, they've always told me, I don't know if things have changed, they've told me when they do finance, dudes don't watch that, but they want to watch the girl stuff, right?
Well, and look at the girls that they have, the Fresh and Fit, I've talked with them, and I told them I would love to do a one-on-one, but I'm definitely the exception to the rule, so I'm not great for that. But they bring girls on there that are very.
I don't want to make it about Fresh and Fit because nothing but respect. I don't like to criticize anybody who's not in the room. I was just bringing them up about the point of they told me when they do finance, the other guys don't watch them. So my thing is that there's not a financial incentive. So if you're a content creator, Adam, and I'll give you an example, and you know if you do this type of content, you're making $50,000 a month. You do the other, you make $6,000. Which one are you going to lean towards?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So as a content creator, who
Pause real quick. So, guys, I think Hafiz is conflating, and he seems very emotional, and I think that was obviously one of the huge criticisms of him on this appearance on Adam Sosnick's show. Obviously he became a little too emotional instead of thinking about it rational, and I will pinpoint that his obviously trying to relate the RP community to like CNN. CNN is a total propagandist media company, right? They're totally they don't even try to deny this, right? They're totally an opinionated and op-ed news source, right? They're trying to push a certain narrative, and they're not trying to lie about that. I think the difference and I think this is where he's reaching now, and I think this is kind of an insult to the RP community, is that he's trying to conflate that the RP community is in the same way and op-ed content. No, we're just revealing the truth to you. Like I said, if the truth sells, then so be it. How long have we gone through? I told you guys too, before I started watching Kevin Samuels and before I started watching, Fresh and Fit, and seeing that these men were obviously talking about the truth, I really decided, hey, I see where our Western culture was going, and should I even speak about this? Because I saw this years beforehand. I'm an older dude. I'm like, Kevin Samuels' generation, right? So I saw this going on for a long time, and I saw the shaming that they would put on men. I saw the cancellation that they would put on you, whether that was like, your job, your resources, right? They would say, hey, don't shop from this person. Think about the cake, the cake baker, right? Remember that they almost got canceled in Oregon. And so they were putting a lot of fear in people, the Matrix was, to even reveal the truth. So I think Hafiz is a little bit insulting, and this is my own word. Obviously, I'm not trying to diss the dude at all, but he's conflating a little bit with comparing it to CNN as an opinion piece. No, the RP is just about revealing this truth. Whether you like it or not, that's what it is,
Like this is our first time we're meeting in person.
Sure.
But you strike me as a person who's just telling it like it is, based on your life experience. Okay, you don't seem like the type of person who's like, well, I could say this for clicks, but this does better. Right. But there must be a little bit of element in that, maybe how you do thumbnails or titles.
Absolutely.
So Hafiz is speaking very impassionately, making some very valid points.
That's what he's talking about is absolutely true. But what we have to understand is when you're doing content, you have to kind of pick a lane in the genre. I mean, if you go to OnlyFans and you start wearing a mother gown, you ain't gonna get no clicks.
Hey, there's a market. There's a market for everything.
There's a market for it. But you what? I know
Yeah.
there's a market for it, but I don't see you doing that tomorrow. But the reality is this: I have 12 YouTube channels. All right, and not all of them are this content, and it is true. Those channels struggle if I'm doing something else. But that's the reality of the situation. It would be like. I love the example that he gave. You wouldn't sell a house like this. Of course, no wise salesman would give you the negatives.
Yeah.
They would tell you something in order to make the commission. So in essence, he's shooting himself in the foot. But on my side, I have to keep a lane and make sure people understand what that is. Of course, if I crossed over and I brought balance, sure, it might fall flat on my audience because they may not be interested in that. However, I'm going to say this and I'm going to add this. Many times, if I brought on a female content creator and sat down and had an interview in a one-on-one, most of the conversation, if we did bring the balance, will start leaning over to her. And people know this. They watch television. They see movies and stuff like that. Every 1 point that they would make towards a man to get him to pay attention, they'd have to make 5 or 10 points for the woman. So it's kind of like, hey, CGA, you raining down on their head over here today. And then they would tell me to back off. All right, come on, man. We can't let them feel a certain way. And that's kind of just how it works. So I have to stay in that lane and be honest to my approach. The minute I bring it over to the other side, then the other side's going to lean. And I'll just add this. If I really wanted to make money, I'll be out here praising the woman. I'll be out here uplifting the woman. I'll be a millionaire.
I think it goes back to
honestly,
personal
yeah.
accountability too, though. People consume. If you're
Yeah.
gonna sit there and consume
Let's pause
the
that
same
real
way,
quick.
That's their thing.
CGA brought up something that I wanted to point out, and he is 100%. Guys, look at all the content out there that are trying to promote this feminism lie, right? Boss Babe, body positivity, Steve Harvey. What's that other comedian that just quit the Late Show? I think Trevor Noah, right? All these Oprah, whoever, guys. You know, you can think of all these daytime, The View, right? All these different shows that try to promote this feminism ideology, right, and trying to promote women. Dexter, what was it? I think Dexter Jackson, before he obviously messed up. These people were making a buttload of money off the lie. Right. So for Hafiz to complain about, now people are able to make money by exposing the truth, I think, like I said, I think it's a little bit, I don't know what the word, if you want to call it negative, you want to call it condescending, you want to call it hypocritical. But I don't think that is a valid criticism of the RP community if all we're doing is exposing the truth. Now, I get it. I don't know if he's going to speak on it on this video, so I'll keep watching, but I get it. Hafiz wants relationships. I believe he's a Christian. I believe he's very religious. I believe he's married as well, too, and he's in a good marriage. And so he wants to promote marriage. And hey, guys, I'm in the same boat. Our channel here, we're trying to promote couples. We're trying to promote marriage as well, too. But at least I'm being realistic about it. I understand what, unfortunately, this generation has been indoctrinated with. I understand that the reality out there is not looking good. Now, will I keep pushing the good fight, exposing the truth, teaching women and men, obviously exposing both sides the truth, and obviously telling them how they could change their values, change their perspective, change their mindset to get the best outcome? Hell yes, I'm going to keep doing it. But the reality is, the results of marriage are still going to be very low for these next 2 decades, or generations, I'm sorry, right? Because women are just not qualified. You have low-value women, right, wanting high-value men, plain and simple, or regardless, right? Or low-value women not wanting average to low-value men. You could say it whichever way you want, right? The women want all the top men, or all the women don't want the average man or less than average man. Either way you say it, the point is they don't want most men. So the fact that the marriage isn't going to happen because of that, that's just the reality. I don't know what Hafiz wants to argue about. It's just the reality, right? It's just not going to happen. And so, is he frustrated that he can't sell this outcome? I think that's really what he's more frustrated with. And I think that's something he has to look inside himself and just come to the realization is like, look, I'm trying to my best to get better outcomes, but the unfortunate truth is I'm working with shit here. Sorry, pardon my French, right? But I'm just not being able to work with any good products to make a final outcome here.
Accountability. I consume content that I generally align with, but I'm also very wise enough to know I should also consume content that counteracts with what I believe, because otherwise then you never learn. And I don't think there's anything wrong with staying, like you said, in your lane. You got your niche, and that's kind of where you go.
Choices. And one more thing, if people wanted to watch finance, if I came on and I do some finance related videos, but I don't have a finance degree, I'm just offering advice. If people want that, there's how many billions of YouTube channels out there? They can find somebody else for that, and that's probably why my finance video won't get clicks. They know my lane, and they'll want to hear this information.
People need to make sure they're having accountability.
Well, to circle back to what he says, I love how passionate you are, bro. Life is all about balance, okay? If you're living in echo chambers, or if you're an extremist to whether it's politically, whether it's financially, whether it's romantically, any sort of extremist has major blind spots. So striking the balance, whether it's the East and West, whether it's the pros and cons of marriage, I think is important, and it's a very nuanced discussion. A lot of people are, oh, this is the way it is, and it's black and white. like Ali mentioned, there's a lot of gray area in all this. So if you like that clip,
Okay, pause real
click
quick.
right here
I
to
have a
watch another.
contention. Sorry, I have a contention with that last statement. I really hate this modern ideology of like, there's so many different thoughts of training, and everybody has their own experience, and there's so many my truths, right? I mean, literally what they just said there in that last clip about like, how there's so many different, like, you got to look at both sides, otherwise you're stuck in an echo chamber. The reality, guys, is that there's still only one truth. There's still only one meaning of life, one ultimate purpose. And whether you decide to want to do it or not, that's fine. You have the choice to do that. You don't want to have kids. You don't want to have your own biological kids. You want to just work your life and do whatever you want to do until the day you die and you pass away. Awesome for you. Man or woman, LGBTQ, trans, whatever you want to call yourself, multiple gender out there, right? But the truth of the matter is, if you don't pass along your DNA to the next generation, you're not part of this conversation. I repeat, you're not even part of this conversation if your DNA, your bloodline dies with you. So we can sit here and talk about, well, oh, hey, this is my reality. This is my feelings about it. We need to listen to both sides of the, of the aisle, and, we should try to understand the aisles. Guys, I'm not going to be listening to some leftist content that says man could be women and women could be men. F that BS. Okay? I'm not going to listen to that aspect to understand the other side. Okay? I'm not going to listen to something that tries to hide or mask the truth from me. Okay? So, let's stop being nice, being politically correct about this, and try to just realize that this is the truth. Now, like I said, where you fall within that truth, that is obviously your own personal choice. We should have the choice for that. We should have the right to pursue that. Okay? And if you decide not to want to have the truth, you decide to, hey, I don't ever want to marry. I don't ever want to have kids. Right? I want to call myself something else and not have kids. So be it. Okay? But I'm sick and tired of all these people trying to say that there's these, alternate ideologies. Okay. And then the last thing, like I said, I just want to talk about marriage real quick from our channel's perspective, guys, is that we believe in marriage. We understand that a nuclear family and marriage will give you the best outcome for your children. And that's the key. I don't believe in marriage from this moralistic standpoint like Hafiz does, or it's in God you're going to freaking, find true happiness, and then you're going to go to heaven, and, and obviously, have this promise or whatever, right? Or if it's, whatever religion is, you freaking go to hell or you go to heaven, and then, you have multiple virgin wives when you go to heaven. No, ultimately the outcome is the outcome. If Hafiz was so concerned with the outcome, right? And if even the extreme on the other side, if was concerned with outcome, they would be focusing on that purpose. All right? And so that's kind of where we need to continue to focus, is just focus on the truth, and then it will obviously always answer its own question, okay? Because the truth, this is the other thing I wanted to say too. Adam was talking about the extremes, right? You talk about the extreme on one side or the extreme on the other side. The 100% truth can be looked at as an extreme, but it's the truth. It's not an extreme. And being within that truth is going to give you the best outcome. All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for watching this reaction video with me. Talk to you guys next time. Join us as we give you guys a glimpse into our lives, give you guys advice, hopefully give you guys entertainment value as well too, and provide you guys better outcomes.
Yes.